Hello, sports fans. Welcome to DDM Sports Central, your one-stop hub for global juicy sporting stories. Today's edition, we are talking about the Champions League. And anyways, it did pain us somehow because go as we plan, go as we want, go as we really expected it to go. But then before I introduce my guests in the studio, we'll take this short break. And after this break, we'll come back to dissect the games that went down in the UEFA Champions League semi-finals Tuesday and Wednesday. Don't go anywhere. This is still DDM Sports Central. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. This is still DDM Sports Central. And like I said earlier, we're discussing the games of the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League just concluded. And I have with me in the studio, Irregular, the Prophet, the unapologetic. Today he's in his Arsenal jersey, so thank God. At least he's really representing today now, so I don't have to explain anything. The unapologetic, the Prophet, what's your other name I give that day? I don't know if you remember. Let me know which time. We have Ibrahim Wase in the studio. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me. But first and foremost, I would like to take off that crown of a prophet because I feel prophecy. I feel in my prophecy.
My brother, it's not only you because the truth is now, if you've been following us, you find out that he made the prophecy as the prophet. He said saw the future. I made my prediction as an analyst. So he didn't get his prophecy. I failed in my prediction. So now both of us carrying the
honestly, this Champions League semi-final is a disappointing Champions League semi-final for me personally. And I know even for UEFA, because these two clubs that are qualified for the final, they have lower fan base.
Yeah.
And it will affect the UEFA in terms of
revenue
generation.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
But don't think they could do that.
Yeah, definitely. This is competition and definitely they will continue to run it. Mm-hmm. The final will be held on the 29th of this month at Munich. Wishing any club luck. I don't care about who wins the trophy anymore. And it's a disappointing
and it will not just be for us, because the truth is, I am sure so many fans globally would have wanted, if I'm not mistaken,
Barcelona,
Arsenal.
Even the UEFA, I know deep down in their mind, that's what
business-wise they would have wanted Barcelona.
Yeah, that's what they would have prayed for, because Arsenal and Barcelona, they have fan base, a bigger fan base, and the revenue will be great for them.
But in all sincerity, let's start from the Barcelona versus Inter Milan. Let's put it this way: Inter Milan versus Barcelona game. Personally, if you remember our last conversation, I was saying it would be a very tough task for Barcelona to go to San Siro and be able to put goals past Inter Milan. But I was surprised, 3 goals, because at the beginning of the game, Barcelona. What am I saying? Inter Milan. They were on fire. They were 2 goals up at the end of the first half. And one would have thought that the game was sealed and Barcelona was out. But Barcelona came back. And they were almost going to win the game.
Just some minutes.
That's a very painful way to lose, so sincerely, because
definitely it's the most painful thing. Yesterday, before I went to the viewing center, I was like, God, I don't want this roller coaster of emotion. If Arsenal are going to lose, please, I want it to happen earlier and clearly. Let me be sure.
No, honestly, that was a very painful way for Barcelona to go.
I exempt myself from the viewing center. And
it happened as you prayed.
It happened. First half, first 20 minutes, Arsenal dominated the game.
I know I'll allow you to talk because I'll give you all the time to talk about Arsenal. But, I'm looking at that game between Inter and Barcelona. Had that shot from Lamine Yamal late in the game in the extra time, had that shot entered the net that hit the crossbar, I'm sure it would have been a done deal.
Sure.
Barcelona would have just won that
Sure,
deal.
sure. This is the Champions League. Like every moment matters, and you just have to seize your moment, seize your opportunity. Don't let anything slide. You see, Barcelona were the better side.
Obviously.
By a country mile.
Obviously.
But one thing about Champions League is not about the better side.
Yeah.
The better side does not win the Champions
All the time, yeah.
The clubs that won the Champions League are those who want to win the trophy. It's just the zeal that give you Champions League title, not how well you played, but how much you need it.
But what do you think actually went wrong for Barcelona?
Actually, if I'm going to look at it from my own lens, I think the only thing that I can cite it, I think are two things. Number one is that luck is not on their side. That's number one thing. And if luck is not on your side, regardless of what you do, it's already written on the stars. You can't change anything. The second thing is the maturity in the squad. Most of their key players are actually young. Kubasi, Lamine Yamal, even Pedri, and Gavi. All these players, they are actually young. So they need to know not just the tension, but the Champions League atmosphere, that anything can change as a second.
Because the truth is, if you could notice towards the closing stages of the game, when Barcelona was still leading 3-2, I think that was before Lewandowski was brought in, you would notice that everyone in the Barcelona squad, both the players and the coaching staff, they were already assuming that they had won.
They had won.
If everybody was hugging each other,
even the fans, even us that are watching behind our television, we have this belief that Barcelona have silly. They were the better side, clearly. They dominated the game. They were playing half field against Inter Milan. But the principal thing is luck.
But I really must admire Inter Milan, because there could have been any team, and they could have just decided, okay, it's just 2 minutes, or maybe just a few minutes of extra time. But you could see the hunger. That minute, Yamal lost that goal opportunity. They were pushing. It was that push set that they kept pushing that forced a defensive, not a complete jump, I would call it, that gave this other guy the chance to cross the ball for the ball to be tapped into the net. I just love the fact that they pressed on up to the last minute. But I'm looking at another thing again. Do you see Lamine Yamal doing a Lionel Messi for Barcelona? And I'm talking of in the area of staying with the club. Because looking at how it stands now, I'm sure a lot of big clubs are eyeing this guy. And I don't know if he'll be able to stand that pressure. Do you think he'll be able to stand that pressure and stay with Barcelona?
Without the shadow of a doubt. If you're talking about big club in the world, the only club that is bigger than Barcelona is Real Madrid. So Real Madrid are their arch rivals. So definitely he's not going to Real Madrid. So in that case, Barcelona is the second biggest club in the world. Then where is he going? Nowhere. So no club will lure him out of Barcelona. Money? Is it the history or what? There's nothing that any club will show Barcelona except Real Madrid. And Real Madrid are their rivals. Definitely he's not going there. Barcelona are not going to sell their key player to Real Madrid under no circumstance. So for that, he's not leaving. I'm not even seeing it as anything worth contemplating.
But what if the club is not able to keep the team together? Because if you ask me, Barcelona has a compact side that if they keep this team together, and I bet you in the next Champions League, these guys are going to do wonders. How sure are we that Barcelona will be able to keep this team together up to the next season?
They have the reputation. Barcelona as a team have that reputation of grooming up young talents from the academy and giving this young talent the chance to shine. Lamine Yamal was actually from the academy. Pedri was from the academy. Gavi, Kubasi, all of these young talents were from the academy. Lionel Andres Messi was from the academy. Xavi was from the academy. All these star players, most of the star players in Barcelona actually played from the academy. So they have the reputation. Barcelona are just the kind of club that grooms talent and give them the platform to shine. So even if they didn't keep the current squad, they will still groom other players that will come and replicate or even do better. So that's my belief, actually.
Okay. I pray Barcelona. I think they have a El Clasico game this weekend.
Yeah, they have an El Clasico
I
game.
pray they don't allow that to dampen their spirit and they'll be able to play well against Real Madrid. They are arch rivals, like you had said, so I'm sure they will still be able to put up something. Well, Barcelona, you should take this from me. You guys gave. I'm sure in fact, I'm sure you'll agree with me that they gave us a good match to watch. Inter Milan, Barcelona, second leg, semi-final. That was a good game to watch. Okay, we go to the game between the one that really paid me. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but sincerely, I don't know why somewhere inside me I was rooting for Arsenal. But then, if you remember, on this same show, I said something. I said, Arsenal have this problem. It may not be a technical problem, but I don't know if it's psychological. The moment you expect these guys to deliver at the best, that's when they let you down. And when you least expect it to happen, these guys deliver. What do you think happened? Because me, personally, I felt, it was going to be an uphill task after having lost, surprisingly, at home to PSG. I was thinking, okay, the fight to restore reputation would have helped them to win in the second leg, but it didn't happen. What do you think went wrong?
As you rightly said, there are things that are happening in football that sometimes you can only wonder. And they actually look like scripted, but they are not. Some clubs, there are things like this thing is following them, and it is them actually.
Yeah.
No matter how much you try, you hardly run away from that very thing. Arsenal, for example, is a club that yesterday was my worst night in European football.
I felt bad. It wasn't
like
I felt bad.
Watching Arsenal over 20 years.
Yeah.
Yesterday was my worst night watching Arsenal. Why? They performed, actually. If you watch the game, you know they did fantastically.
I think they did. They should have even gone up 2 goals. But for
three goals.
What's that goalkeeper's name? Donnarumma. That guy was exceptional.
Yeah. So if you watch the game, you realize that just like Barcelona, luck was not on their side. It was not their day. And actually, football is never fair. You get, it's not a game.
Football can be very cruel.
Yeah, it's a very cool game. You can't be the best, but you can't go through.
Yeah.
So I felt Arsenal deserved the win.
Even Arteta said it that the Arsenal is the best team in the tournament this season.
Definitely. Considering the goals they scored, the goals they conceded, look at the club that are close to them in terms of defensive record in the Champions League this season.
Yeah.
You said, you need to defend your net if you want to win trophies. Arsenal conceded only 9 goals with 10 goals with the 2 goals yesterday. 10 goals in 12 games. 10 goals in 12 games. They conceded 10 goals. And they scored 30 goals. They have the best defensive record of 10 goals. The club close to them are Inter Milan, conceded 14 goals. So they have a better defense record than Inter Milan. And attacking record, they have 30 goals. The only club that scored more are Barcelona, that scored 33. They have 30 goals. Which signifies that they are doing well in all fronts.
Considering their injury challenges
and everything. And considering Arsenal injury challenges, that's why I still drop card for Mikel Arteta. Yes, a lot of people will see what they want. People will criticize him. He spent how many years there is no major trophy. Understand. But look at what he did.
But is it actually his fault? I keep looking at those statements from people. Is it actually his fault that he's not getting players? Is it his fault?
No, it's not about getting the players. It's about getting the
strikers.
No, it's not.
Because right now, what a lot of fans are complaining is that you don't have an out-and-out striker. What you have is a conversion to striking position.
We have seen over the years, clubs dominated Europe without a striker. The prime example of them was Man City. Before they signed Erling Haaland, they didn't have a proper striker. And they won Premier League with 100 points. Right? We saw in Liverpool also. Liverpool didn't have a central number 9, someone will call number 9.
Yeah.
They relied on Salah and they dominated Europe. There was a time that they won the Champions League and finished second in the Premier League, finishing with 97 points. They dominated Europe without a striker. The problem is not in a striker. The problem is in Arsenal. The club itself holds the problem. The conundrum, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how it works. But definitely there is that thing in the club. Look at Tottenham. Regardless of how much Tottenham try, they will not win a trophy. And it is an issue for concern.
For Hurricane, he has left. He has won 2 Bundesliga titles.
So if today Manchester United won Europa League, they have a better season than Arsenal. Look at the disappointment finishing 14 in the Premier League. Look at what Arsenal did. That's why I said football is a cruel game. Honestly speaking, football is a cruel game. Arsenal, first 20 minutes yesterday, they dominated. They were all over
PSG.
How many attempts in that space? Dangerous attempts that they would have been goals in a normal ground without goalkeeper like Donnarumma.
No, Donnarumma was exceptional. Those 2 saves.
He was the one that saved them during that. Because if Arsenal had a goal at that period, they should forget about it.
That would have weakened or even energized Arsenal the more.
Sure.
Given them that more confidence.
Sure.
Right.
They tried, push, but it was not there.
So sadly, again, for Arsenal, this is a trophyless season.
Yeah, definitely.
Very painful. And
that's the most painful part of it.
Honestly, that's
because I told Tony that if Arsenal lost the game, that was when we watched Barcelona game, and if they lost the game against PSG, I'm going to off my data. I'm not going online again because the bantering.
Wait, Ibrahim, you just reminded me of something. This is your television thing now. You said if you lost, then you're going to watch football again, yeah?
No, I'm not going to support football again. That's what I'm saying. And officially, I'm going to make it official because I'm a man of my words.
What are you not going to support now? The football watching or in fact, football watching? Because I remember I asked, I watched that clip again.
Yeah.
I remember I asked you, I said, is it that you're not going to watch Arsenal again or you're not going to watch football in general? I said football in general.
No, it's not football. I said I will stop supporting football right now. That was what I said. And you asked me, is it Arsenal or football? I said I will stop supporting football because there is no club that I'll go and support other than Arsenal.
No problem.
So,
you just reminded me.
I'm a man of my words. I stopped supporting club football today. Yesterday. From yesterday, I'm not loyal to any club.
You're wearing the Arsenal.
Yeah, I can wear it. Just...
Sorry guys. Robert, your brother just cracked me up. And I needed it anyway. Because sincerely, I felt bad. I really felt bad that because this was a match. I don't know. It was looking like it was going to be difficult for Arsenal, but I don't know where I just got that feeling from. That somehow, because if you notice in the first leg, Dembele scored very early. And so one would have thought, okay, yeah, they went back and tried as much as possible to hold themselves, even though they outplayed Arsenal in the first leg, but I just felt, okay, that early goal gave them the edge. And if Arsenal came out with fire in the second leg,
even in the first leg, Arsenal had the better chances now. They had more shots. So definitely it was Donnarumma's exceptional talent, even at the first leg, that saved them. Because it's not only about playing. You saw this club now. What's the name of the club? Inter Milan. Every chance they got, they utilized it. That's just what they did.
Anyways, so finals on the 29th of May 2025 will see Inter Milan take on PSG. And if you ask me, I'm not gonna lie you. If you ask me where I tilt to Inter Milan. But you never can tell PSG. That, and you know it's even paining me the most. If you remember, I said it will look somehow that one team from one continent took out 3 teams from one continent. It took out Liverpool.
Man City.
It took out Aha.
Man City.
Okay, that means it's 4.
Yeah, they beat Man City.
Took out Liverpool,
Liverpool,
took out Aston Villa,
Aston Villa,
and then now Arsenal. You paid me.
and Premier League called them the Farmers League.
He paid, my brother, he paid me. No, he paid me personally, even though I love the Arsenal fan. But then it's
No,
okay.
this is for England generally. It is not on
He
the
paid
Arsenal.
me because I know I'm somebody who loves English football. I don't want to talk for a club where I've been the support so that nobody will start bantering me and leave me where I live. I'm peaceful now in my life. I've left the club and I'm living peacefully. I'm watching TV games peacefully. So, but then we're looking at the final. Inter Milan versus PSG. Where would you want to put your money on?
It's a 50-50.
Okay.
But if I'm going to bet with my money, I'll go for PSG.
You go for PSG, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Considering the fact that they have a proven manager,
Yeah.
they have
Okay.
they have a formidable team to reckon with anything in the world. Good attack, good defense.
Yeah.
I see Inter Milan having a good defense, but their attack is their midfield most especially is kind of shaky.
Yeah.
So I'll go for PSG.
Okay. Prophet Omar Ibrahim is going for PSG. I'm going for Inter Milan. That means this time around, in the finals, one of us will get it. Not like in the semi-finals where both of us feel it. It is all good. It is all good. So with that, we have come to the end of today's edition of DDM Sports Central. The finals, we are going to do our best. We are going to do our best. I promised in the last edition that we are going to see how well we can arrange to get to any of our schools around us here and see if we could get your analysis, your own views about the semi-finals that just took place, and maybe the whole of the Champions League as well. So, but then keep your comments coming. Feel free to share your thoughts about the Champions League, everything that you think has happened. Ibrahim, I still want to say a big thank you. Mark, no lie, the management will hear this from me that if not be say you did decide, DDS Sports Central for struggle, I don't lie. So you helped in spicing up the program, and I will continue to say a big thank you. So if we're able to get to any of the schools, we're going to bring you their comments and views as well. If you're able to also stream live the final game, we'll bring that to you as well. So we are doing our best to see how that could happen. But if it doesn't happen, please take us as we are. We are here to give you authentic sports stories the way you like it. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you once again
for
coming
having
to
me.
DDM Sports Central. And with that, we have come to the end of the show. Do not forget to like, share, comment on this edition and previous editions of DDM Sports Central. Follow us on Instagram, on Twitter at Diaspora DM. In fact, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Diaspora Digital Media. Until we come your way again with another edition of DDM Sports Central, I remain your host with the Sparks. Ugochukwu, do have a lovely and sporty weekend. Bye.